Action is on.
And they started, boy, they didn't even give us a chance to go through the entire pairings, as we do have a Lapid, right? C2, C3, Sicilian in the game between MVL and Liam. Liam coming into this event once again as a wild card. He is the coach at the local university here, Webster University, and he has a fan base in St. Louis you can't believe. They are cheering him on, and Coach was leading through 5 rounds of Rapid, so he's really had a very nice event so far. I'm used to seeing White actually getting in an earlier D2, D4 than I currently have in this move C5, C4 basically. I like to gain some space. Now, if I play D4 right away, there'll be an en passant, Tanya. What do you think about B2, B3, which was played?
Really nicely pointed out. You want to get out of this clamp hold that Black has with the move C4 so that you can advance the D pawn.
Exactly.
You need to develop your bishop, need to get the pieces out. So B3 there, as you pointed out, and the knight comes out, putting more pressure on C4, and now really asking Black to take a decision about what you want to do with that C pawn.
Yeah, if you do capture, if Black is obliged, I'm not saying he is, but if Black does capture, C4 takes B3, A2 takes B3. The rook is developed, my pawn structure has a little bit more influence in the center. He's done it, he's captured, and so I would feel that White is the one for choice. Now, on the other hand, Peter will be sitting there arguing his Grunfeld bishop has an unobstructed view, and therefore Black should also be pleased with the outcome. Quick knee-jerk.
No, I agree with you. I think White starts being a little bit by being a little bit better, but Black does have dynamic counterplay. E75 break needs to be watched constantly. The pawn on C3 is a bit soft. You could maybe play against it. Bishop G4 followed by some kind of a break in the center is playable. But structurally, I would very much take White here.
Right, Tanya?
I would agree with that, and especially because traditional chess wisdom, you've managed to put one of your side pawns towards the center.
Exactly.
The A pawn is moved towards B3. You've opened up the A line for your rook, so
Exactly.
it's already in the game. Watch out for threats of that knight from A3 jumping onto B5, hitting the queen, hitting the pawn. It looks like the trump in Black's position is that bishop. So as Peter said, you want to get E5 to open the position. But if I had to pick a color at the moment, I would want to be White in this position.
Exactly, me too. Rook on F1 to E1 has my attention. I like the idea of putting pressure. And Peter mentioned that E7, E5 is the dynamic that Black will be looking for. Times, it just feels like the players are playing a little bit slowly. Who's used more time?
It's under 4 minutes for both these players. It's the start of the day, Yasser. They're just getting into the groove and the rhythm.
Yeah, they gotta warm up. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Liam is a former World Blitz champion, very, very deserving. Was it 2014?
2013 World Blitz
2013.
champion. And
So he's been around. He's not to be. another pawn on the queen side. H3, love it. G3. And what does Alpha Zero say about pawns on H6 and H3? They can checkmate you. And here we go. You're right. Desperado checks for white, and Liam is about to play King F5 and say, do your worst. I'm not going to take your bishop and fall for a checkmate. King F5. And are clocks a factor? Is the clock a factor?
It's touching the 30-second mark for both players, but that's a whole bunch of extra pawns for black, and it felt that Liam made it look so easy, snapping up pawn after pawn. The pawn on h3 makes sure that the white rook is stuck on e1, not allowing black to double up on the first rank. And another pawn's grab gives up the h3 pawn, but that b pawn can get decisive very quickly.
Exactly. And
who's going for who's king?
Once again, Liam is playing absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is great stuff. And he's the tournament leader. It's over. He had to stop a checkmate coming on the file. I'm just going to quickly update my board. I apologize. But there was a checkmate on h2 after rook check and rook h2. So
knight g6 now creates maybe an unstoppable threat of rook check on the third rank.
So a check followed by
knight g6. I think we start with knight g6 actually.
Perfect. So we do have, and by the way, knight e7 came with a gain in tempo. So you're suggesting knight g6.
He gives a check first and defends the b5 pawn, and there are mating ideas. Is knight g6 always in the air? So the rook needs to stay on h1 to guard the h2 file, h2 square.
And now
rook h3 is also a threat if the rook moves. Oh wait,
knight g6.
It was a check.
Knight g6 checkmate is knight g6 and rook h3 checkmate. That's a coming. In 10 seconds.
Check, he made a move. Still, knight g6, rook h3 ideas. How do you fight against
Liam,
rook h3?
I think it's over.
It's over because if you go rook h1, knight g6, king h5, rook h3, and that's handshakes. Mate was in